Hi, welcome to my first podcast today. I'm very excited as well as I'm very anxious. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I just want to say that um, the purpose of my podcast probably is my personal practice of speaking English because I knew that at some point in your life, when you learn another language, you start to forget the language that you don't use. So for me, it was a big deal because at one point in my life, I understood that I'm forgetting my native tongue, which is Russian. So today, I just wanted um, to kind of introduce myself, maybe let you know who I am, and go over the list of things that I want to talk about today, which is I'm 27. I want to give an advice that nobody asked for. So my name is Daria. I'm 27, and the first thing you might ask me is where I learned my English and where did I learn to speak in such a way. I think one of the important things that a person can do that has a goal to learn some kind of language is to speak to a native. And I had an opportunity to live abroad for a few years, and I have only been using English to speak to other people for a long period of time. So that's one of the major things that I would suggest for people who want to learn English and who want to even pick up the pronunciation and phrasing things and explaining things. So it was crucial for my experience of learning English. So, anyways, what am I doing? I'm an English teacher, and I like to teach people because I like to see them improve. And it's one of the things that I think uh, describe me as a person. I like to see people transform. So I've been always interested in business as well, and the aspects of like trading and everything and like negotiating. But I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a type A person to do that because I'm very empathetic and emotional, and I don't know if it's to do with my gender, but I don't think so. I've seen a lot of girls who have become very successful because of their strong personality traits, and I have yet to learn how to do that. So, anyways, let's move on to the list, because I think if you have any questions, you can just ask me in the comments. So, anyways, the first tip I would give as a 27-year-old to young girls in their early 20s or younger. So, uh, try to take everything from life in a span of um, what is considered to be ethical. Okay, so I knew from the very early age that I have to be I don't know, trying everything because life is short, and I didn't actually really believe in afterlife. It was something that was influenced by the maybe church at some point in my life. When I was with my parents, they were going to church. It was like Baptist church, but I knew that I don't know about the afterlife. I just have to enjoy right now. So I knew that I have to take and experience everything I can. Okay, you might ask me about the hard drugs. Is it worth to try? You can see the aftermath of taking those, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. If you ask me about other drugs, I have no comment here, okay? But just do what you think is reasonable and will not harm you, okay? Especially for girls. I know some girls want to travel alone or want to go to this guy's house or to this party. Just make sure you have like a backup plan or people around you who can look after you if you end up intoxicated or drugged or anything like that, okay? So I've traveled to Europe. I haven't encountered being drugged, but I've seen lots of stories. So just make sure you have someone to look after you. And if you're the person who is the one who looks after the other people, just don't drink or don't take anything, okay? That's the only thing. But travel, do things, have fun, do sports, whatever. I think it's worth it as long as you're wise about it. Okay, anyways. Poof, my lips are dry. Haven't been speaking English in such a fucking long time. So, and my voice is probably very weird, and I'm going to listen to this and think, Jess, you sound annoying, but I don't know how to speak very loud, and my phone is far away, and I think I should have been using the microphone, but I'm not sure because sometimes, so hear me out. I have this microphone like this one, and you sound very good when you put the mic right up your mouth, right in front of your mouth. But I would say that I have ADHD or something, or I forget in general, and I just do this and keep speaking, and it happened to me so fucking many times that is so cringe, and I'm just afraid that I'm not going to get the audio that I want by doing this, you know? I should probably have like a standing microphone, but anyways. Okay, the second advice is from me personally. Try to not travel for a week or two, but go for a year or more somewhere. Maybe 6 months is fine, but more than 3 months, I should say, because this way I feel like traveling for 1 or 2 weeks is very superficial and touristy. So for me, I would say to get the full idea of a culture and pet peeves of that culture, you should live with them and feel through whatever they feel, whatever their ideas are, and whatever their what's it called? Fuck. Let me think. This fucking word. It's on the tip of my tongue. On the tip of my tongue. Well, in general, their ideas, okay? So, why? Because when you come, you just kind of like baffled by the colors, the architecture, the food, everything, right? You're kind of like very shocked and this awe. But when you get settled, you start to see little details around you. You start to develop maybe a relationship with people who live in this country, and they can share more with you, because to be honest, in most of the countries abroad, they don't get used to people for a short period of time. They just consider them, yeah, acquaintances, that's it. But when you are with a person for a long period of time, for example, I think it was the best idea for me. It was one of the best decisions of my life to go abroad to work as an au pair in Holland. And if everyone can get into Holland, please do. That's one of the most developed countries in the world where people have such a unique idea of how to live life that first, of course, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, I don't I don't agree with you. Um, like for me, it was very shocking to see how they have a relationship with food or how they have relationship with saving money, financial responsibilities, and the relationship with nature and other stuff around them and other people. Like they were very, very considerate. But I know that I would not get to a point of them knowing me or me knowing them just in two or 3 weeks. That's nothing. So we of course live together because when you're an au pair, you live with a family and you eat their food and you sleep in their house and you work with kids. Um, Throughout this time, we started to ask each other more and more questions, of course, like at the dinner table, all this stuff. And you discover a lot of things about life, and your mind is kind of expanding. You start to be very open minded to things. Okay, anyways, hope I said everything I wanted. So, number three is the smoking. Oh God, where do I start? So I'm not talking about smoking weed. I'm just talking about regular smoking because I think it's actually more harmful to you than just weed because you will have always cigarettes on you and you just take them, go out, smoke for 5 minutes, and that's it. But you have to understand the physical harm it does to your body. So I started smoking, and a lot of smokers say that don't buy your first pack of cigarettes. And I did it in Holland because, Europe and people partying and everything, even though it was Corona time, COVID and everything. It was during party, it was like 1, 2 cigarettes, and then I thought, my God, I have such a nice hit that my feet would tingle and I would get such a big high from it that I loved it. And the next time I went to party, I was like, I want to smoke. So I went to smoke again, and then when we didn't party, I was like, man, I just want to smoke. I feel very stressed or something. I just want to relax. And I told my girls, like a group of my friends, that I'm thinking about getting my own pack, and they're like, no, please, it's gonna start, like you have not been a smoker. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get it. And that was the start. That was literal start of everything. I smoked a little bit because it was very expensive in Europe, but when I got to Kazakhstan, where I'm from, um, things escalated because the pack is €1 basically, and I was like, I can just like do a half of a cigarette and throw it away. Like it was fine. And it was fine for 1 year, I think. And then I went on into like puff sticks, and those things started to have like an effect on me where I would feel like my heart beat very badly, or my head would hurt really badly. And like the hit was really big because the dosage was really big actually. So after that, I went back and forth with like, okay, if I want to stop smoking cigarettes, then it's actually better to use the stick to like, it doesn't smell, like your hair doesn't smell. You can smoke inside the house, but then you get more nicotine during the day. And then I thought I should go back to cigarettes because, like at least with cigarettes, I have limitations about like the time I should go outside, like social, like pressures of not showing someone that you smoke and stuff. So I don't know what happened, but my heart was just, it hurt really bad. I started to be very stressed, and actually, it causes anxiety a lot, which I thought is going to go away with smoking, but it's actually increases when you smoke. So, yeah, after that, I just kind of like, my heart hurts, like, this is my life. And you kind of start to link smoking to hair fall and skin problems and tiredness, and overall everything's just goes to shit. So I don't know. Right now, I think I'm just not smoking because I have a partner who also quit smoking. So we're kind of like teaming up and we don't smoke. We can smoke once a week or once in 2 weeks, like hookah. That's it. We just go out at night, one day, one evening, we smoke, and then we actually don't even feel good after that. We're like tired and anxious and everything, and I hate it actually after that. But the the addiction, you want to go and do that again. But at least we made that clear. Okay, next one, number 4. Uh, it's better to fuck up 50 times than to always change your interests. I don't know how I feel about that. I know that's my own advice, funny, but uh, I think it's better to stick with one of the interests you have, especially when you know at heart from very early age that you love to do that. Then I would suggest sticking to that, because no matter how much I thought I am such a corporate girl, like I can fit in and everything, I'm always going to be an artsy girl. I like art, but the problem with art is you don't know which way to go. Gosh, the art people are going to be like, yes, girl, please preach. Because there's photography, there's modeling, there's drawing, there's painting, there's sculpting, there's this and that, and digital marketing, and was it digital graphics, being a fashion designer, so many ways, and everyone tried at least maybe 10 things in their life to figure out what the fuck they want to do. I thought I'm going to be a painter, but then I realized that I actually hate spending hours and hours and then just one stroke of like black and I'm like, fuck, I fucked everything up. And I'm just like, because I actually drew a lot of like realistic stuff, and you have to be very precise because you want to copy exact thing. Of course, I didn't improve in that because it was like I give up, and giving up for me, it's like a religion. I love to do that, but you will discover that you will want to do something artsy if you are an art person. You just have to like try and do it, at least as a hobby, because if you give up and you like close that person and put it in a box, they will burst out. They will either burst out and you will feel like, okay, this is your calling, or you're going to be so angry at yourself. So be kind to yourself, do the things that you love. And I truly believe that many things that people want to do today are well paid. Yeah, because I see a lot of people be paid for things like making t-shirts or prints or embroidery or other shit, like it's fine, you can do it, like you just have to have an idea of something, be first, put a lot of effort in it. Of course, some of the businesses, they don't work out, but you have a life ahead of you, to be honest, and you should just stick to who you are, not to be an office, I don't know, an office bitch. An office bitch, yeah, that's nice. I don't know, like for me, I love teaching English, and I only discovered in the beginning of last year when I started to work for myself that I actually can incorporate it with the things that I want, because teaching English actually, it's kind of creative, but it's not for me. I needed color. I needed like do something with my hands. I needed physical attributes, like I wanted to do stuff. So I started to create my own lessons. And if you're a teacher and you work online, maybe you should try Miro. Miro, it's a nice app. You have to pay for it. I think there's like one or two things you can do before you need to pay for it. Uh, but it's very nice because it gives you a lot of room to express yourself, and that's what I do with my job right now. Okay, the fifth advice is if you want to do something, just fucking be quiet. Shut your mouth, put it like on a shelf. Nobody should see what you're doing. I don't know about myself because I really struggle with this. Like, to be honest, I'm telling you this advice and I'm not following it because I just want to get that first hit of dopamine when I tell someone, hey, I'm planning to have a podcast, for example, and they're like, oh my God, you're so cool. And I'm like, I know. And then I don't do it, and it's such a bummer when you got this first feeling of approval. Yeah, you're doing good, good job, but you actually didn't do anything and you're not going to do anything. So if you plan to do something, at least have a plan how you're going to achieve that, or start doing it. Like first few steps to achieve that, you just start doing it, and then maybe a few people are going to be interested. Hey, what are you doing? Then you can tell them, because then there's a little bit of expectation that you are going to do it, and at least you have started. And when you put time into your craft, for example, yeah, anything you do, you put your time into it, then you can evaluate it as if you have invested something, and it's really hard for you now to let go of it. So if you have invested time, you're like, shit, I can't just say, I don't want to do it. Like, I have invested a lot in it. Then it's kind of forcing you to continue doing it until maybe you fuck up. And it goes back to the second, no, the last suggestion, where you have to fuck up in the same area of life rather than switching to other interests. So anyways, number 6 is learn how to control your emotions. You're going to look fucking awesome after that, because honestly, my emotions is my enemy, and I have already told you that I'm a very emotional being, and there's just only few occasions, maybe 2 or 3, where I have been angry and I have let my anger out, and was actually to my own benefit, because the person has been scared. They have never seen me angry before, and they did something about it, like about the issue at the moment. But in other times I was emotional, crying or angry. It was actually very bad for me. Either it was at work or in the relationship. Just, I'm not saying bottle everything in, but bottle everything up. Sorry, that was really bad. But I'm not saying you should bottle everything up, but at least know when to express it, not always be like a reflection of your emotions. Because after that, people know how to manipulate you, and the world is amazing, but it's not nice to you. So you have to know how to control it, and if you don't, it will control you and the people around you. And it's not to say that people around you are bad. People around you are people. That's what they do. They have this natural desire to control other people and get from them what they want. I know amazing people who are very kind and giving and generous, but they also do these things because it's just human thing to do. So unless you want to be a doormat or a pushover, control your emotions, know when to speak, and honestly, one of the biggest things in life where you can learn how to, you know, how to talk to people is stop and look at your emotion, evaluate where does it come from, ask it, where does it come from? Is it my trigger? What am I doing? What I'm going to do? What does this person means? Is this person very angry at me? Is it their anger, or they're also triggered by something? Talk to people if it's safe to talk to them. Yeah, just explain like, I feel this when you do this. So that's one of the coolest things I've learned in my life. Let me first check if it's actually recording. Yeah, still recording. Give me 1 minute. Okay, this advice is actually stolen, but it's like, at the same time, I don't do it, and I do it. I don't know. Let me explain to you. To get what you never had, you have to do that you never did. Oh my God, isn't it the truth, right? So it's a hard one. It's a hard one because every day is a reflection of what you are used to do. So if you can just imagine your higher self, the best version of yourself in the future. I've heard this TikTok from some girl, I don't know, like maybe I will give credit, but I see so many TikToks about self-improvement that I don't know who says what, but she said, are you friends with your future self? Because if I'm talking to my future self and she's like, you didn't do podcast today again, like, girl, you promised yourself you're going to podcast like a second week in a row and you didn't do that, there's something wrong. Like, we're not friends, you know? And every time you think about your future self as a friend, you're like, hey, for your success that you have there, I must do something today. And it's going to be very uncomfortable because I'm not only dealing with the mental idea that there's a goal in the future and there's a person in the future, but I'm dealing with my body and my brain in particular, because my brain is like, we didn't do that before. I feel very uncomfortable doing that. Maybe we should not. And that's where I was like, oh my God, I now understand why I can't do things, because I just never did them before. It's very comfortable for me, for my body, for my brain, and for my willpower, yeah. But I'm just going to like just do it, you know? Fuck it, just do it. Because you do this step forward not knowing what's gonna happen next, but that's what people do in order to be successful. And I'm not saying that I have the only goal to be successful, but I have only one life to live, and I just want to see how it's gonna go. To be honest, my life is the whole fucking experiment and things happening to it and me figuring out what to do. And honestly, speaking right now makes me feel so good because I have been hiding these thoughts inside of me for such a long time. Like, I'm gonna cry right now. But I've been hiding it, and I've been thinking, hey, I just want to let somebody know that they're okay and they're doing great because I'm doing great, and they're going to achieve things because look at me, I'm trying to do this every day. Oh my god, so emotional. Stop. Anywho, next one is 8. Uh, yeah, this one is tough. The anger and the jealousy is a poison, and they're going to eat you inside out, but they're not going to harm anyone around you. I don't think that it's the anger is not going to harm anyone around you, but it's going to mostly harm you inside. And I have physical proof of that it's just going to fuck you up, because my heart combined with smoking, it was, sorry, my lips are fucking dry. Anyways, yeah, so like my heart, I've been smoking and worrying and smoking, and it hurts so bad. Like, I'm afraid that I'm going to end up with some heart disease, but or heart condition, and I'm not hurting anyone else. Like, to be honest, I have to carry myself throughout my life, and I do want to live quite long, because I think I just want to like look at the world and how it's doing for as long as I can. Before I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm a teen, I'm gonna die at 25 overdosing on cocaine. It was kind of fun at that time to say that, but now I'm like, bitch, no, I just want to live until 90 and be healthy. But yeah, like, jealousy is also very weird. Like, when you're jealous of somebody because they have something, it's like stealing your own time. You steal your own time thinking, I should have been in your place, and you're still not in their place. Like, it's doing nothing, but it makes you overthink over and over what you could have been when you are not, but you can. See, that's the thing. You're just stealing your own time. And when you're jealous, for example, like in a romantic way, when you have a partner, that's one of my biggest problems, because my biggest fear was cheating, and I have been cheated on, and it has been very bad. Like at the moment I wouldn't even show, but inside I've been always going through scenarios like how and where, and this is one of the my biggest interest, like romance and relationship, because there's a lot of psychology, like what people do around you and stuff. So I would say, because of that interest I've now experienced, and I still have to experience a lot of things, but still I have gone through things, and I would say that being jealous is complicated. Like, it's going to teach you things. I'm not saying don't be, because you actually can't control it. I can't control it. Like, I go over scenarios of how and when, even if it didn't happen. And it's very toxic to yourself. So, I don't know. Being angry, you just have to get out of the situation somehow. Like, let it be your motivation to get out of the situation where you're angry. Also, maybe go check up your thyroid. That's random, but thyroid is giving out the hormones into your body, and if it's irregular or there's some things that are not working properly, you you can feel anger, frustration, and be very irritated actually. So go check that out. But if you're angry because of the environment, because of people, place, country you're in, school, if you can't get out, just wait it out, okay? If you can get out, let it be your motivation to work for it and get out. In any case, I do believe that life presents things that you can do in order to get out. So just stay strong. You will eventually get out of the situation. You will become happy, okay? But if you don't take the opportunities that the life presents you, then I mean, it's the same lesson for me. I do same things and I learn from it and I fuck up and maybe one day I will die from my mistakes, but who knows, yeah? Okay, number 9. If you think that you are not worthy of something but you want it, it's actually that you're worthy of it. You know, everything that you want and your desires is actually representations of you, what you should be. Of course, there is a stretch when we talk about I want to be a millionaire. Okay, what's the idea behind being a millionaire? Do you want a praise? Because usually when people want a praise or their ego stroked, they actually have some mental problems that they have to go and talk to therapists about it, you know. What is the feeling that you want? And I'm talking about little things actually, not big like I want to become a millionaire. I'm talking about, hey, I just really want that coat, like this wool coat for like $500. I really want it. Girl, then you should get it if you can. But anyways, like just save up for it, but you worth it. Don't think that you come from, for example, from poor family and you, because you can't afford it, you are never worth it. No. Because you want it, you are worth it. It's the same with job applications, yeah? Like you think about, man, maybe I shouldn't apply because I am not worthy of this job, or I'm going to be not, I will not fit into that. Don't worry about it. If they get you and they hire you, that's it, the job is done. The next thing you're going to do is ask them a lot of questions so you can learn, and then you can get even with all of your coworkers, and you know, and they will want to teach you. Every time I saw people who dealt with the newbies or like hired new personnel, I heard a lot of things about people who are not driven, that they don't ask questions, they don't want to learn. Just because you can ask questions, you can actually get into very good position in your job. Okay. Next thing, and the last thing, actually. Look around and look for people and things that dictate you what to do and how to live properly. Like this is a big thing, especially when you come from religion. Everyone around you tells you what the fuck you should do, but and they use it. They use you when you're young, of course. They use you because you have such a broad amount of time and like many opportunities to do things that are not presented to you yet, but you feel kind of bored because you don't know what to do. And then the people come into your life and they're like, here's what you should do because this is the purpose of your life. Why? And then when you get older, you're like, why do I have to do this? Why are you telling me what to do? But many people don't ask this question because they are afraid to question the person who told them what to do. Because they have been told what to do so many times that they lost the meaning of truth. Okay, I had this discovery in my therapists. Like when I was going to therapist, I was like, but I'm this kind of person, and I was born here, and I'm this kind of person. And she's like, you're not conditioned to where you were born and how you were raised. You can change that. You're such a free person right now. Like, thank God we have opportunity as girls. Like, I'm so grateful that I live in a generation and time where I can actually choose what to study and work and where to work and who to talk to. Honestly, feminism. But anyways, like, I'm a free person. Like, if I think that I want to become a millionaire, I can actually become a millionaire. Like, honestly, it's not that hard to imagine. It's hard to do, of course, but to imagine it and to put yourself in a position where you actually you can do actually anything along the lines, like of moral. But you can be anything. And if you enjoy looking at bugs and taking pictures of them and like be a bug professional, oh my god, please do that. Like, honestly, this is your call. When you become older and you're around 20 and you're like, fuck, I was born here and they telling me to do this, fuck them. Like, honestly, I said fuck so many times. I think I don't know what's gonna happen to this podcast. But anyways, at the end, I just wanted to say that it's very hard to predict what's going to be your life and how you're gonna lead it, what's gonna happen to it, because honestly, COVID-19 was such a hit and stab in the back, and many generations have encountered things similar to that. For example, wars and natural disasters and stuff. People have planned their life, but then something happened to them, and it's very hard to predict that nothing is going to happen to you, or something is going to happen to you, or it's hard to predict what you should do. But at the same time, with these advices that you're going to take with you, maybe one or two, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, because you are living life and you're learning life. And you're learning how to live on your own terms. Just be observative. Look at people who make mistakes and maybe don't do them. Or be risky. And maybe sometimes you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen after that, but I feel strong feeling that I have to do this. Then do it. And if you make a mistake after that, just be kind to yourself, because you risked it. You didn't know, okay? So today I just want to give you a message of like, yes, it's great to live life, but learn from others and also be kind to yourself. Okay? I don't know yet what I'm gonna name this podcast, but I'm super excited to talk to you guys. I hope I'm out of breath. I hope that my voice wasn't very annoying, because I feel like it's very annoying, especially when I'm out of breath. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit giddy. I'm feeling a little bit, I'm gonna put myself out there. It's going to be the longest I've talked and posted online. I've been doing reels and TikToks, and it's just kind of hiding my personality behind funny stuff, very short and meaningless stuff. But today I just wanted to put out my heart into the world. And I want to say that I'm very passionate about young people who are ambitious, because honestly, I didn't have much support or much guidance when I was younger. But once I discovered, honestly, again, so grateful to be born in such a time right now where from age 12 I was exposed to internet, and I was like, question, I have a question, I have a question, and I was just asking. I was so fucking curious. I didn't like to read, but I really liked, if I had a question, I wanted the answer. So I didn't have much support, or I haven't been taught by other people's, and I'm so grateful that I have internet and so many smart and honestly experienced people out there who can give me advices on things, and please use it as well, wisely. hate I hate the V and the W in English. I always have problems with wise because it's W, it's wise. It's not wise. Anyways, just see ya.